Bind me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch. People dying, kill me in the packing house. Even you have to...
Hey! Check this out, guys. So we actually have a repeat guest. Last time I had Mr. Seth Green on was last year during season 1. It was with Matt Cohen and Breckenmeyer. But this time we're just kind of doing a little one-on-one sesh. I've known Seth for nigh on 20 years at this point. So we talk about everything from Spider-Man to the MCU to Star Wars and his new film Changeland, which I am in. And he hates it when I call it Changeland, but, I do it anyway because God bless him. Give it a good listen. It's he's a great guy. And, there's much love in that room. So, yeah, enjoy.
Have you seen that movie yet?
I have not seen the Spider-Verse yet.
I don't want to say anything to you just because it's...
Everyone says it's awesome.
I mean, it's sort of undebatably awesome, but I also find that the longer a movie is overhyped for me, the less I can receive it the way it's
I think that's why I've been waiting so long.
But you almost have to get past the hype of it so that you can just receive it, because it's actually just...
Well, that's why I've been waiting. It's like I'm waiting for everything to die down, the dust to settle.
You especially, though. You especially. I think it... just because it's really unlike anything you've seen, but it does such service and such justice to Spider-Man.
Well, you're a Spider-Man guy.
I am a Spider-Man guy.
Yeah. I mean, I love Spider-Man well and good. I wouldn't call myself a Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, Spider-Man,
Yeah, no, exactly. No, believe me, he's awesome. I like him in the MCU.
Yeah,
I think that stuff is great.
Me too.
Tom Holland's great.
He is.
I'm actually going to miss his relationship with Tony Stark.
Tony Stark, I know.
This
is good, man.
I know. Well,
they've done great service to this whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah. It was good stuff.
Well, that's a movie that if you ever want to watch it, I'd watch it with you just because I really enjoy it.
Spider-Verse?
The Spider-Verse.
All right, cool. Yeah. We'll set up a Spider-Verse date.
I got a Blu-ray
after I move. Yeah.
When you settle in.
Oh, boy. I mean, gosh, it was the whole weekend. I'm tired.
Is this on? Is this part of the experience?
Yeah, this is.
Because it is hilarious if you and I were just hanging out having this conversation on tape.
No, this is exactly what we're doing.
That's what the podcast is.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I kind of just keep the mics hot.
I appreciate that, actually, because like the you and Natasha one is so fun. Just you guys chatting.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that's why people listen to podcasts in the first place, is to hear some kind of relatively unfiltered conversation.
Yeah, exactly. It's not really, even though they're one-on-ones, they're not like interviews or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I have like bullet points. Like I had Jake the Snake Roberts on.
How was
on
that?
Friday. He is fantastic.
Isn't he awesome?
He hates snakes. He hates the honky tonk man.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. But
see that coming.
Loves me, and he loves yoga.
Really?
Yeah. But I had like a list of like bullet talking points just in case there was any lulls in the conversation.
Yeah. You watched that, what was it called? The Resurrection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we talk about that. We actually have a DDP. We have him call in, and I just held the speakerphone up to the microphone, and we talked to DDP.
That's so cute.
Because he says bro a lot, and so we were talking about the word bro, and I was like, he's like, oh, I know somebody who says bro.
I know a bro.
I know a bro.
Yeah.
And like at first, it was like DDP was just kind of doing it just because we asked him to do bro, but like the more we talked, he actually said bro more.
Yeah.
Like it is standard, like just conversational voice. Like,
not even pretending.
Not even pretending anymore.
We got to have Jake on Camp WWE too. He was so funny.
He's funny. He's really funny. He's always been a good talker, but it's like, no, he's funny. He's really comfortable in his own skin. Like, he's doing good.
God, man, that doc was so cool. I don't know. I just really appreciate. I think because I love that world so much. And I've seen how difficult it is for any of those guys to have a life after it or a life outside of it. And so, I don't know, seeing the support of the community, seeing how much fans still show up for him, like that was really powerful.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm believing. He was a good get.
Yeah,
for the podcast. Like, I was friendly with him anyway before that.
Were you?
Yeah. I've seen his. I wouldn't call it stand up. It's like a lecture, like a monologue, but like a free form monologue. So, it's really cool. But he fucking hates snakes.
How does that work?
Well, because he was like, "Oh, it sounds great, Jake the Snake."
That's like a lucha guy who's like, "I can't stand wearing a mask."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it makes my face chafe.
I refuse.
Yeah, but no, he. Yeah, no, it was just like a gimmick and it stuck. So now he was stuck with all these fucking snakes.
Yeah.
So I was like, did you ever think of Jake the Cupcake Roberts? Just
What a different character that would be.
Giving out cupcakes, having to, go on the road with all these cupcakes.
Cupcake is typically a pejorative too, so you'd get into a weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess it's sort of like owning the insult.
Yeah,
right.
Now, listen, I'd be the cupcake.
Did you watch the Game of Thrones finale yet?
No, I don't watch Game of Thrones. But yeah, believe me.
Spoiler alert, but they rename Bran Stark, who's the kid who's been in a wheelchair since the pilot episode. They rename him Bran the Broken, and I watched that scene. I was like, that's kind of insulting. And then I saw a meme this morning. Tyrion says, "All hail Bran the Broken," and Bran says, "Actually, just Bran is fine."
Bran's fine.
And he says, "Bran the Unwalking," and he's like, "Nah, seriously, Bran, it's okay." And he's like, "Bran wheelie, legs can't feely."
Yeah. No, it's a fucking Robot Chicken sketch.
It really became that.
Yeah. Yeah. Brenda was very disappointed in the finale. Yeah,
I'm not. I guess I'm just not. But maybe.
It ruined Christmas for her. Look, that's how much she hated it.
It's so interesting watching this stuff because now that fans feel an even deeper ownership of the stories, of the ideas, of the characters, and now that we have all this social media, all these ways for us to commune around it, you get people signing like 500,000 person petitions to
redo the entire 8th season.
Who the fuck do these people, like, what do you even think you're doing?
I know. Well, look,
and if you can mobilize 1 million people to sign a petition, why wouldn't it be for something like gun control or something legitimately valuable?
You gotta do something that actually matters, Like Game of Thrones.
Clean water in Flint or
exactly.
North Carolina.
No.
Nah.
Although
let the real humans suffer.
Well, they had the coffee cup, obviously. It was like 2 episodes ago.
The coffee.
Starbucks cup on the table.
Forgot a fucking coffee cup.
Yeah, and apparently there was a water bottle in last night's episode.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that too. I just don't fucking care. Like, I think of those things as Easter eggs, and if you're I think slick enough to catch it.
I think there's a Coke bottle in Cleopatra. And I can't tell you how many wristwatches you'll find in period pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people always forget that they're wearing a wristwatch.
Yeah, I think
Red Sonja, everyone was wearing blue jeans. It was
But the level of outrage seems unwarranted for this kind of stuff.
I know. But still, it's because it's so expensive and meticulous.
Yeah.
That, like, especially in a season where people aren't exactly loving it, that they're going to catch hell for things like that.
Yeah, I guess I did, though. I actually really loved it. And, even though there were things that I would have liked to have gone differently, this is a really satisfying resolution. And it ties up things that were promised from the very beginning. And even though it's not what people like, because you get to love certain characters and then seeing them behave certain ways gets to be hard for you. But that's storytelling at its core, is seeing characters do things that are true to themselves, even though it's not what you want.
Yeah, see, I can't speak to it because I haven't seen it, but I know what you mean, like, philosophically. Like,
I got into a great debate with somebody over the weekend who had not watched any of it, but was only reading the online chatter about it, and they had very strong opinions about it. I was like, what are you even talking about? You have not watched this, so...
Exactly.
Why are you taking a position based on Yahoo main page articles? Like, what are you even talking about?
Well, are you excited about those guys? They're doing the new Star Wars movie.
I am excited about that. I think they're.
You think they can handle it? I mean, I'm more excited about. I don't know anything about Game of Thrones, but I'm a lot more excited about that than I am about Rian Johnson's trilogy that's not happening anymore.
Well, I didn't love Last Jedi. And a lot of the things that I
might not even see the next one. That's how much I hated it.
I'm going to see this.
I know I will.
I can't imagine not seeing it.
I'm being an angry fan.
I didn't.
But still.
I just, and I didn't hate Last Jedi. There's plenty of things in it that I think are cool, and I see where they were going. It was just a little frustrating to feel like everything that JJ had so dutifully set up was kind of undone step by step in the new movie. And, from Finn being able to wield a lightsaber in Force Awakens, and then suddenly beginning Last Jedi as a cowardly deserter. Like, that seemed odd. And
Like,
know,
you think Snoke's going to be this big old thing. And
you
he's
think
not.
Phasma's going to mean anything.
who's Rey's
You think
parents?
this
It's
lightsaber
nobody.
is something. It's like every single thing. The helmet, even
I get subverting
Kylo Ren's
expectations.
helmet.
Yeah,
We're
I
like,
get
fuck this helmet.
which I didn't mind that. I mean, I don't mind subverting expectations. Like, I really like the Rey, like, your parents are fucking nobodies.
I don't mind that as a mislead, but it felt almost like somebody trying to win arbitration. It felt like systematically changing every detail to get I don't know. I can't.
Well, it's like, it doesn't, like, you can also come from nothing, like, and your destiny still means you're special.
I don't
like,
mind that.
Like, you don't have to be a Skywalker to change the world.
I'm not trying to ascribe
Yeah.
intent to Rian Johnson. I just I didn't care for the casino world.
Oh God, Jesus!
I didn't
that
care
whole
for
Finn
the
storyline. That, like, honestly, they should have kept him in a coma the entire time.
Yeah, it's like an odd misdirect to have Finn and Rose, seek out something that doesn't serve any purpose ultimately.
No, it was
doesn't-
busy work.
It really was. And,
Yeah. Here's the way it should have ended was, when after Rey and Rilo Ken, like they are Kylo Ren, thank
Yeah.
you, Kylo Riley.
Rilo Ken sounds like Barbie's boyfriend.
Yes, exactly. But when he's like, join me. Like, now we take control of the First Order.
Right.
Like, yes, there it is right there. Like, it's all, because that's even what Luke has been preaching the entire movie.
Yeah, that
it's all
he's
about
bad.
gray Jedi kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
like, there you go. You kind of get both sides of the spectrum, and then boom. Like, that's where you should end it. Like, that's right there with her accepting his hand.
Yeah, that would have been fucking
That
insane.
would have been fucking insane.
Right, it
Like,
would have
talk
made
about a
everything
fucking
worthwhile.
twist. Like,
Yeah.
And that's why I think they should have kept Finn as like in a coma like the entire movie. Because I don't like his storyline anyway. But then also,
Finn is in a coma. I know. I know.
and no, but then you start the next movie with him waking up from a coma and actually seeing that Rey is now running the First Order.
she's turned
and
bad.
and start trying to, like, and she's not necessarily turned bad. They've all kind of turned gray,
Yeah.
And he's the one that reminds her that, like, look how good you used to be and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been effective storytelling.
I will be very curious to see how JJ
How
ties
J.J.
this whole thing
Abrams
up.
fixes this.
Well, just ties it up. Like the fixing it. It's the story is canon now. Everything that happened in Last Jedi is canon.
Yeah, but
and so,
honestly, like that, I didn't watch the trailer like for this last one until like about like a week later. Like, that's how disinterested I got in like
Yeah.
everything.
I've
And
been hearing that a lot, like a general Star Wars fatigue.
which is funny because like Marvel comes out with like 10 times more movies like every year.
Yeah,
yeah.
But
And
they've been all connected in a way that oddly Star Wars has not. For as much as they try to tie together all these details through circumstance, whether it's Rogue One or the Han Solo movie, the way they try and pinpoint similarities or story connections, they still feel less connected than Ant-Man does to Endgame.
Yeah.
Like Captain Marvel and Homecoming clearly exist in the same universe, and
But I used to love Star Wars just as much as I liked Marvel. Loved Marvel. Yeah. And like,
Yeah.
I'm getting a little bit of Marvel fatigue, to be honest with you.
I understand. Just like an
3 movies a year is a lot, and this is
Yeah.
you're talking to somebody who still loves it. Like,
Yeah,
actually,
but just a volume of superheroes.
I gave Endgame like a C- when I first saw it, and now I've kind of moved it up to like that C+, B- kind of like area. But it's like, look at like last year, like Ragnarok was so fucking good.
It is good.
and Infinity War is so fucking good.
Yeah.
and then like this year, like the lead in was like Captain Marvel, which I fell asleep in it. Like, yeah, like
Oh,
it
really?
was, yeah, it was not great. Like, yeah,
I think I enjoyed it more than
Jennifer Lawrence would have been better than Brie Larson, I think.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Brie Larson just for some reason doesn't do it for me. And she's a nice girl. Like, I've met her before, and she's very, she's been pleasant. But she's also, her press tours have not been very pleasant. We'll put it that way.
I haven't seen any of her press, to be honest, and I hear people saying that they found her inaccessible, but I don't know. I enjoyed it.
Really?
I enjoyed that take on it. I don't mind there being like a Superman in the Marvel universe.
No, I think it's great. Like, no, I don't mind that. The character itself is a lot of fun in the comics and all that stuff. But
I never really read any Carol Danvers comics.
yeah, no, she's cool. Like, no, she's a badass bitch. Like, and it's great. Like, yeah, and like how she's not Ms. Marvel. Like, no, she's Captain Marvel. Like, yeah, I can dig that. Yeah.
Lady Marvel.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so, yeah, no, wasn't a big fan of that. And Endgame has its moments, but, like, I mean, I didn't really like, the final battle stuff is so cool, because it's just the call,
Sure.
everybody's there.
Big splash page.
But I did not like, I felt pandered to when they did all of the Lady Avengers part.
It was interesting.
It felt a little.
that they
it
made
felt
such an
tangent to.
all-female splash page.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I've seen so many all-male splash pages that I just sort of took it as that. It's like this is what it is.
This one was like very hashtag Me Too. It was very, very that. Like, and it was like, see? And the thing is, I wouldn't mind watching a whole female Avengers movie.
Yeah.
That would actually be awesome. Like, I think that actually would be really cool.
Yeah, I was more hesitant about that Gwyneth Paltrow Iron Man until I saw her in Endgame. I was like, I think I could watch this. I think that'd be all right.
Because in the comics, she's Rescue. And it's an Iron Man costume, I guess, armor. But it's all non-lethals because she's just there to rescue.
Interesting.
Yeah, so she doesn't want to be a weapon. She so it's about a lot of like stunning things.
Are you excited about that that Sam Wilson and Bucky show? Because that's where that's
I'm
headed.
actually interested.
There's an
I'm interested in the
hour-long
shows.
series on the new Disney platform that's going to be Cap and Bucky with Sam Wilson as Cap.
Honestly, I like their banter. I was actually just watching some Civil War the other night. I'm like, no, they have a nice thing going on.
Civil War is so
I hated
good.
the ending thing, where it was like old Cap sitting there, and there's Bucky and Sam Wilson, and then Bucky goes, "Go on."
Well,
because Bucky wants to say hi too.
But the theory is that Bucky knew what the plan was. That Bucky knew, because Cap even says something to him like "see you again," or when he goes off into it.
Well, he went back in time, so he probably could have said something to him way back then.
But I think Bucky was
this
the only one
timeline
that
is
knew
all
what
fucked
Cap's
up.
plan was. Well, that's what fucking. Have you seen the trailer for Far From Home yet?
Has there been a new one since?
Yeah, there's a post Endgame trailer that's all spoilers for Endgame, where they talk about all timelines and stuff.
It's really
we should
fucked
almost like pause this podcast and show you this fucking trailer. It looks so good.
Let's do that.
You want to?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm gonna keep the mics hot anyway.
Somebody's just gonna have to fast forward through this fucking trailer.
Let me wake
You're
this up.
so silly.
Cute.
It's like they've taken a good bit of influence and style from that video game.
What was that one? I haven't
the
watched
PlayStation game. It's great.
Yeah, I don't like play. I don't really play games anymore.
I don't really
it was like
play
an
it.
open world one. I've seen
It is.
the footage.
It's super. It's all
yeah.
over. It's all over a version of Manhattan, but it's also just between all the costumes and the style, like him running up buildings and all of the dynamics of the swinging and stuff. They just do a great job.
Yeah, no, they do a great job in general. Like, yeah, like.
So wait, do you think that the multiverse thing is bullshit and the Mysterio is just playing a trick? You don't think? Because they keep talking about Thanos' snap, like splitting timelines and changing
Which I mean would be
divergent
totally
worlds.
cool. I think it's all a work.
All a Mysterio plan.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think even some of the destruction or some of the like
I
even
think
the
it's all
monster
illusions,
itself,
right? That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that you really get the benefit of this trickster?
Yeah, exactly.
Be
Like
cool.
like I like how they're building them. Like
Yeah.
No,
right with that.
I'm really excited about the Fox merger.
I am optimistic,
Cautiously optimistic.
that it is more in an effort to consolidate intellectual property and make great content. Like that's what I really hope. There's been all this like they just haven't been allowed to introduce certain characters into canon with each other, and as a result, we keep getting shitty versions of the Fantastic Four and stuff that I actually really love. But there's an upside to it too. Like we've had all these great X-Men properties and. Between Logan
We've had a
and
couple of okay movies.
yeah, but like Logan, like Deadpool,
Logan's great. Deadpool's great.
I still go back to X2 as like one of the coolest versions of the shit I
I'm
ever
not
saw.
a huge fan of that. I mean, I think it's the best one of the Orig Tridge.
Did you ever see Days of Future Past though? Because I really
That
like
one's
that
great.
too.
That's the best X-Men movie.
But I didn't love Apocalypse and
Apocalypse was not my cup of tea. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
No, but also I think the Marvel universe, or the cinematic universe, could do the Fantastic Four justice.
I know. But they've got to show up almost as side characters. Like I kept expecting at some point you'd see, the United Nations and somebody would recognize the leader from Latveria. And
Well, they announced, 8 or 9 new Marvel movies over the next 4 years.
Oh, right. But that's just a
they're
slate.
all
They don't
all
have any-
untitled
Yeah,
right
so
now.
it could be anything.
All right, so here we go. We got Doctor Strange 2. Got Black Panther 2. Guardians 3.
Yeah.
They announced the Black Widow movie.
Oh yeah, but do you think that's going to be period? It's got to be.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Unless they think. I mean, spoiler alert: she died in Endgame.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. No, the Russos said it's okay to spoil the movie now. So,
Right.
Yeah, we
We're
can
like
spoil it.
weeks out. So.
What else do we got?
Really weird that Thanos went through that gender reassignment.
I know, right?
It's an odd twist, but I
know.
get it.
Can you believe that they chopped off his arm and chopped off his head in the first 5 minutes of the movie?
I just always
wow.
wanted to be my daughter.
Yeah. It's probably a Spider-Man 3. I think the rights are in flux right now.
Is that true?
I'm not sure, but I thought I heard something like that.
I don't know. If Sony keeps making stuff like Spider-Verse, though, I'd be totally okay with them sharing that IP.
Yeah, we'll see. Eternals, they said.
Yeah.
So it puts us
I
about
didn't
6.
love the Inhumans. And
Well,
it may
there's
have
a
been
reason why they took it off of the movie slate and turned it into a terrible
TV
television
show.
show that got canceled after just a handful of episodes.
But I wonder if that was just the money they were able to spend on it. Or what they
No,
would
I think they
allocate
changed.
to
I think
it.
they changed their mind. I think the Fox deal was kind of coming up around the
Brewing.
corner, and what it was they've been trying to rework the Inhumans as the mutants essentially, like kind of work them as their version of the X-Men,
Right.
And then what this Fox deal kind of coming up, they kind of jettisoned that because originally, remember last time that they announced 10 movies, Inhumans was on the slate.
Well, because they were working to using Guardians as the bridge to get them into space.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, Captain Marvel 2? That's another one that's definitely going to be happening.
Right.
That movie made way too much money.
I'm hopeful that because of all this merger, we'll get something legitimate with Galactus, that we'll get something valuable with the Silver Surfer.
It's
weird to
me
have
too.
the Thanos story without the Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
But I felt like it got handled very well.
Yeah, no, I think they did good.
But man, I just want something Fantastic Four. And I don't think you need their origin story. You sure as fuck don't need somebody saying, wow, you four are fantastic.
Yeah, no, you can integrate them the way they did Spider-Man. You kind of just integrate them a little bit.
I didn't have any issue with Johnny Storm being Michael B. Jordan. In fact, I was like,
No,
oh, cool, let's
I
see
think
where
that's
this
great.
goes. I just wish that version of the movie was any good.
Yeah, no, believe me,
It's so not good.
there's nothing redeeming about it, to be completely honest. Look, yeah, it was
Oh
bad.
my gosh, Dr. Doom over here.
I
It's
know.
just like, come on, guys.
But also, Doctor Doom would be a perfect, Phase 5 or Phase 6,
Yeah.
overall villain.
When you do that,
new
that
Thanos.
story of Doom and when Doom and Doctor Strange team up to kill Mephisto. They literally battle the devil for the soul of Doom's wife. Yeah.
Mother.
Was it his mother?
Yeah, he's always trying to get his mother. Pinky promise. Yeah, Pinky
I
promise.
trust you, man. You remember details better than me.
No, but he'd actually be a great overarching kind of villain because who else would they kind of really have right now as an overarching villain as a replacement?
There's nobody
all things
like
considered.
that. There's no great plotter that's gray like that. My favorite thing about the original Secret Wars was that Doom got coupled with all the good guys, and
Yes.
everyone's questioning his general morality, and it was almost like, yeah, bitch, I told you I'm
No,
good.
but he thinks he thinks he knows best, and he's to him he's doing the right thing.
But he also was the only one smart enough out of all of them to wield a gauntlet to reconstruct the entire.
He took the Beyonder's powers. I think that's one of the fan rumors right now is they're leading to their
Future
Infinity
Foundation.
War.
Yeah.
The next phase their Infinity War is going to be Secret War.
I would love that.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun.
I don't mind.
Especially with all these new characters coming in. Especially with they have Fantastic Four, they have Silver Surfer, they have Doctor
X-Men.
Doom, they have Galactus, they have the X-Men, they have Magneto.
Can you imagine how great it would be though? So let's hypothesize this. They do some kind of massive cinematic arc, or even like a TV miniseries, and it's Secret Wars, and then they do a secondary sub-series that's Deadpool Secret Wars. Do you remember that book?
I remember that one.
It's literally everything that happened in Secret Wars, but
And he's kind of all from behind the
Deadpool's
scenes.
POV.
Yeah.
This is fucking great.
Yeah, he has something to do with Spider-Man's black suit and
All of
everything
it.
like that.
He's deeply connected and yet only in the margins.
I love what they've done with him in the comics.
Me too.
Because he's kind of been a little oversaturated for a while and kind of gets tiresome.
Yeah.
But it's like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
And things like that. Those are really, really fun things.
Have you read any of the Gwenpool stuff?
No, I know you're really into that.
I just I guess the thing I love the most about it is it just speaks about the power of culture and the way pop sort of consumes itself over time, and so that character who is self-aware but sort of born of the internet and then has all these powers, but is also like, oops,
Yeah.
I cut off that guy's head. Whoops. She gets all. It's really fun.
I know you're really into Gwenpool because actually, nice transition on the call sheet for Changeland.
Yeah.
You were Gwenpool for a couple of days, and you're like, all right, all right, everybody.
Well, what it was we were all of our, the islands where we were filming were small, and so anybody that wanted to get close to us, it was very easy for them to see things. So we came up with a bunch of code names and.
Like your Blue Harvest, essentially. Okay.
Yeah. And so, if I stay in a hotel or get cars booked or whatever, I usually do it under pseudonyms. And this was very funny. I picked Gwen Poole as my pseudonym, but even my publicist was like, who is this Gwen Poole who's directing the movie?
Yeah.
I've seen her on the call sheet.
Number one on the call sheet was Gwenpool.
That's just being funny.
Yeah, just messing around.
At that point, I think it was Claire who said, you have to put your own name on the slate so we can take freeze frames of the slate with your name in front of the faces of our friends in the movie. So I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But my chair back says Gwen Poole.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. It's good because I always had my chair backs stolen.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like shooting the second Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's like shooting on the streets of New York. Like someone's just going to grab that shit.
Straight jack.
Yeah, there was
your chair.
I'd have like a Macaulay Culkin on the back of my chair for like a day. And then boom, it'd just be gone. Yeah. And so they got tired of that.
Macalacca Cluckster.
Yeah, Macalacca Clucklin. That's me. So we shot this movie in Thailand.
Yeah, we did. Hey man, thanks for coming to make this movie with me.
It was 2 years ago now, almost.
It really is when we finished. Yeah, and I spent several months editing, and then we took our time finding a right distributor.
Yeah. Well, I know that because I'm pretty close to the 2-year fuckiversary with Brenda. So yeah. So so that's how I keep track of Changeland.
It's what you marked on your calendar.
Yeah, exactly.
Your first point of entry.
Yes, and I see what you did there, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Thanks, man. What are we if not able to?
So you got a bunch of your friends to go out to Thailand.
Yeah. That's well, I've always found if you're gonna take great risks, it's best to surround yourself with not just incredibly competent people, but also people that you know in real life that you can trust. Although it
wasn't like a bunch of favors.
Yeah, but it is also that dangerous thing of if I totally blow this, then I've completely sabotaged all of my personal relationships.
I've ruined all my friends' careers.
It really, well, I didn't think I could have any actual impact on anyone's careers, but I definitely thought if anyone saw me lose my cool or not achieve this goal, it would.
I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for you. I don't do movies.
No, I did. I definitely understood the responsibility of bringing you out of semi-on-camera retirement.
Yep. And it certainly happened. Yeah.
Well, to that end, though, I just tried to make promises I knew I could keep. Like I wrote a part that I thought you would crush, which you did. And I agree.
I'm pretty great in it.
It is. Yeah, you get great marks from anybody that watches it.
Oh, good.
That's always the funniest thing is because we've known each other so long. And I feel like I know you so well, I just take for granted that other people know certain things about you. And I completely forget sometimes the way that people, like what image gets conjured when someone who doesn't know you or has never met you hears your name, what that makes them think about. And it took me a second to realize, because I think I know that, or at least have that in mind. But it's been very funny because people watch the movie and they don't know anything about you except what they've absorbed in the public, which is really completely misinformative. And so that's been fun. And everyone's like, "Wow, he looks so healthy," and he's like, "I love his character and his performance." And I'm like, "Yeah, he's a fucking lifelong actor." Literally,
I'm baller.
No.
Yeah, no, I'm actually kind of freaked because I'm doing an episode of Brenda's show.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, that doll face thing.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Well, she kept on asking me to read the script. And I kept on not reading it.
Yeah.
And then she said, "I passed for you." And I go, "What are you, my agent?" I said, "Fine." I said, "I'll read it right now." And so then I read it. And I said, "Okay, I'll do it." She was like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, no, totally.
Because I've already passed.
I could totally nail that.
They made an offer to Devon Sawa.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. And so
Jonathan
now,
Taylor Thomas
but now,
is in the
now
wings.
I'm kind of like I was going to say stuck doing them. I don't mean that, but at the same time, it's also like, oh fuck, I have to like remember lines again.
Learn your lines.
Yeah, it's like
hit your mark.
Fuck, man. Like
all of those things.
Like, my memory's not what it used to be. Before it was like a steel trap, and now it's a little trickier.
I feel the same way. I find
there's like one speech in it. I'm like, oh god, like
just practice. It really is rehearsal.
I have enough time. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. And I said like, how are they with improv?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, it's fine. Like, yeah.
I find that like the older I get, the less I like the practicing, the discipline.
Me too. Man.
I used to really have a lot more enjoyment from the like technical perfection of it, from achieving some kind of physical specificity, and I don't know.
Now I just like winging it.
I do like winging it, but I find the result of not rehearsing or the result of not preparing less satisfying than when I go through the effort of really getting myself just so, and then being able to capture that in the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a certain amount it can be, certain things can be over-rehearsed also at the same time. Like,
For sure.
Like, I think certain things like table reads and stuff like that, like that's good. Kind of everyone kind of gets each other's rhythm a little bit.
Knowing you're blocking in general, but
also
I don't
at the same
like
time, I like surprising people with things as well.
Well, I like personally to just rehearse my own dialogue, like over and over and over again. Because the more deeply and without reaching I know my words, the more I'm able to elaborate on it in the moment.
Yeah, no, I kind of get the loose structure and then I just go. Yeah, as you've experienced on Changeland.
Well, I think that worked very well for this character. I mean, this character was really meant to be both laissez-faire and disproportionately confident for his own circumstance. And and I love the idea of the idea for that character is a transplant when the whole thing's based on, like my friend Dan and I went on a vacation in Thailand, and the entire time we were there, because it's so typically reserved for honeymooners, everybody thought we were a couple and kept trying to give us like magically romantic situations, and eventually we just fucking went with it.
Yeah.
We're like, this is my husband.
You guys are a cute couple.
My husband.
Yeah.
But one of the guys that we met on the trip was this guy, Ian, who was our snorkel guide and just an American guy living in Thailand, and completely abandoned everything that was familiar to him, his family, his life. And
thankfully he wasn't Australian, because I can't really do that accent.
No. This was an American guy.
I know.
And he had completely...
That's the whole thing, is that this movie's based on like kind of things and from a trip that you took.
Yeah, and so none of the emotional complexity of the story, but like each of the incidents. And so I wanted this guy to represent, the story is about my character sort of feeling the result of all the decisions that he'd made, not necessarily for the right reasons throughout his life. Like he'd always done what was expected of him, or what he thought was the right, shape and plan. And then he comes to realize that none of that works for him, and he's completely unhappy, and it feels like his life is imploding. And so he gets to witness all these examples of other people who have solved their life. They're living the life that they want,
or at least at peace.
But in all different ways. Like nobody's doing it the same way, which is kind of the point of the movie, is that there is no right way to do it. There's only what's right for you. And so Ian is meant to represent that, like someone who says, yeah, fuck it, I'm going to move 1,000,000 miles away, and that's how I discover myself.
I'm going to be a boat captain and do some Muay Thai.
Yeah, just living his best life in another country.
I will say, actually, I'm actually just realizing this right now, having seen the movie like in a bunch of different iterations.
Yeah,
is that every single like character that you kind of come across, like they all have something to do with boats.
I guess that's true. Like even
Randy Orton's character,
even Martin has a boat. Yeah,
he has a boat, and then the girls.
It's a lot of water. A lot of water in Thailand.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say, it's like almost like the Odyssey.
You could argue it's the dumbest thing for me to have done. Like we had a full 15 days filming on boats on the water.
I fucking hate boats, by the way.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thanks, pal.
Because there was that one night where I was like, get me off this boat. Get me off this fucking boat.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
Yeah, no, I was not feeling it.
Our Yamaha motored skiff.
Brecken and I got what I thought was a debate. Like he was like, he was arguing with me. I was like, I want to finish this later. He was like, yeah, we'll finish this later. I'm like, oh shit.
Well, that night was especially challenging because we were filming at a relatively low tide, and there
was a lot of boats around us, and that's what was concerning me.
Me too. So there's
I was like, just put a light in the front of the boat. I'll be okay.
Well, and also we couldn't see the depth of the coral, and the coral was only like 4 foot down. So
that's why I kept on talking about
easy
light.
to beach.
That was the thing. I mean, listen, I had enough whiskey that night to begin with anyway. But at the same time, it was also kind of like, yeah, man, like put a light in the front of the boat because I can't even see those boats until they're about 10 feet away from us.
Yeah.
So I said, put a light in the front of the boat, and you should have a light in the back of the boat so people can see us.
What's tricky is that the effect that we were trying to achieve was like this boat descending into a total darkness. And so, you can't have lights to get that.
But still, you're shooting towards the coast. There's already light over there anyway. And also at the same time, it's like, listen, you could just take an iPhone and put on the front light and then just tape it to the front, and that would have actually placated me. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of where I was at, Listen, I don't like boats, and you're having me on a boat at night. Oh, boy.
I know.
I'm not the strongest swimmer to begin with.
Do you remember how slick it was, too? Like, the first time I got in that boat, my feet just came right out from under me.
Just ate shit.
Did you see that? That was one of the... It's never fun, like, hurting yourself in front of the entire crew.
Your entire crew.
But especially something as, like, acrobatic as what happened when I started to step into that boat and the entire bottom of it was slick and my feet literally just came out.
Like fell out of your shoes.
Almost as good as when the wind took the umbrella and hit me in the head.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
Have you not seen that video?
No, I have not.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you able to stay on your feet?
No, it took me to the ground. But
Nice.
But that's actually because I'd always heard that the best thing to do when you're in any kind of physical thing is just go limp.
Just go limp, yeah.
Yeah, so I did. I went completely... I saw it coming out of the ground, and it's only like a couple inches away from me. And what you see is me both put my hand out to catch it and turn my head away from it. Mm-hmm. So it hits me in the head, but in my hairline. And I remember being cognizant enough to say... Okay, well, even if it bleeds, we can keep shooting.
We can do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because I hit my head pretty good when we were doing Saved, and I had a cut under my hairline. And I was so thankful. I did a backflip into a pool and caught the edge.
Nice.
Oh, I was so lucky that I didn't catch the whole thing.
Mitch Gaylord stuff. Greg Louganis.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, I pulled a Louganis, but like as a jackass at 2 a.m. at the hotel pool. Awesome. Like, hey guys, look at me.
Anytime I've tried to be awesome, I usually hurt myself.
Yeah, I stopped kind of going like, hey, look at me, especially when it comes to like physical stunts and things like that.
Don't look over here, guys.
The last time I did that, I was taking the PATH train in New Jersey. It was in Hoboken. I was going back to New York, and they had this 2-story long escalator kind of thing, and I decided to slide down the middle, which already had those little like things to prevent you from little knobs to prevent you from doing exactly what I did.
That's why they put them there.
So yeah, I did that, but I did it on my side. Those things, there was probably about, I'd say a good 50 or so of them.
Sure.
Hit that one ass cheek every single time. Yeah. And I could hear one of my bandmates, because we were doing some stuff with my band, and they were going, too fast, too fast, too fast, too fast. And so I slid off the bottom. I tried to catch on my feet. I landed on my feet, but I like tried to like prevent myself from hitting my face. So I pushed backwards and smacked my head on the escalator. You know what? Totally worth it because I didn't end up bleeding. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, Mac, you're getting too old for this shit. For real. Like,
getting too old to be awesome.
Yeah, like, I probably could have pulled that off in my early 20s, but like, I'm nearly 40 now. So
when I first moved to LA and I went to the Beverly Center all the time, they had not installed those things yet. And so there's like 6 escalators in a row, and I would just slide right down the center of them. And within a year, they had stacked them with those fucking knobs. And I was like, is this because of me?
Did I do this?
Did I do that?
Did I do this?
Because you're killing my fun, guys.
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
But, thank God. Because, you don't want to, like, break your face or something stupid like that. But
Well, so you got to stay in Thailand for a couple of weeks before we even started.
I know, like you had me there, like during pre-production. I didn't start working for like the first like 2-3 weeks.
I thought that was best, and also a great opportunity. It's hard to get
Team
settled.
building? Yeah.
Well, it's hard to get settled in Thailand without enough time to sort of adjust to the time and the weather and all that stuff.
Thailand was fun. I'm not a huge fan of Southeast Asia,
Yeah.
but like no, I had a good time there. I mean, also we were spoiled, like the way we were
No
living.
kidding. That the resort that we got to film at, the Slate, was incredibly accommodating and gave us all these beautiful rooms, like more
I had
beautiful
2 bungalows.
Yeah, that was amazing. And then we each had these large rooms that had a like a patio area and then doors in between them. So when we realized we were all staying in, then we just kept all the doors open. It was like our own
It was a
compound.
compound, yeah. Exactly.
That's really special. So I thought to that end, here was an opportunity to compensate you for the performance by giving you like a multi-week vacation in a luxury resort in Thailand.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, with Miss Brenda Song too. It was great.
Well, I know that you're somebody that knows how to build team and also like be entertaining. And so I thought that was valuable. I thought that'd be really valuable to
I
have
mean,
you there.
we had a good time. Like, yeah, like,
Really
I mean,
did.
Yeah, like I mean, well, yeah, I definitely had a good time.
Yeah, is that okay to say that, I knew you and Brenda for a long time prior and I had zero expectation of you guys finding love together. But then when I really think back on it, it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense how well you guys can relate to each other, the both difference and the similarity of experiences you've
Yeah, no,
had.
we have some yin and yang kind of stuff going on, but
Yeah.
it works out well. Like I am constantly shocked how she puts up with me, kind of thing. No, listen, I'm good to her. We love well, and I feed her well, and like, I take care of her. I get her flowers and things like that.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because...
But also, she's like a neat freak, and I am so not. I can tell you how many of my notes for work she's like thrown out because they're literally on toilet paper.
like a shred of something.
Yeah,
that you just
exactly. I'm like, no, that was
written
for
in a highlighter.
exactly. That's for work, honey.
This is a truly important thing.
So now she's like learned to organize my stuff without like touching it. Like it's it's really cute. Like and no, we got a good thing going. Look at you.
Well, she was really one of the catalysts for getting back into this story because I'd put this script down for a while. I'd actually gone out of town to work on my treatment when McFarlane called me about doing Dads.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that was where Brenda and I met and
Yeah.
got to work together for, almost 2 years. And she was just so good at it, so good at it.
She is really fucking talented and sharp. And,
Yeah, all of that,
and
all
very
of that.
dedicated too.
Yeah, like an incredible collaborator.
Yeah,
And-
no, she
and I was
puts in
like-
the work. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, you could totally be this character. Well, because at the time I knew that those girls were, tour guides, but I hadn't had this idea of her character.
Her little double turn,
Yeah, I hadn't had any of that. And when I met Brenda, I was like, this is a really fun take on this character. So she actually inspired me to go back and gave me a way better perspective on how to make that character arc.
Mm-hmm. She's still embarrassed by her accent. Yeah.
Well,
she's just like, oh, I can't watch this. I can't watch this.
You know what's
But
interesting
I don't
about
really
it
I
is
don't really like watching myself either, though. So
it's-
although I do like watching myself in this because I'm hilarious.
You are.
I'm
You are.
drunk and hilarious.
everybody, it's very funny. The people that were mixing the movie were like, Mac is just magnetic on film. I'm like, yeah, no, duh. But she, she walks. She had to toe a really complicated line because when you're doing something,
She's doing a Thai accent in front of a Thai crew.
right, and
That's really tricky, man.
well, and even if you do it flawlessly, it can appear insulting. And so that was really our goal, was to do something that was both believable, but that wouldn't be offensive. That it was done in a way and to a degree that no one would say, oh, this is mocking.
Do you know what I did for her? Like I told her, I said, like, listen, you said you work with some of the crew members
Yeah.
on your accent.
Yeah.
Because one, it'll help you with your accent.
For sure.
And then two, it gives you cover.
Exactly.
Because then the rest of the crew are in on it.
Yeah.
That they helped you do this.
Nobody wanted to do anything offensive. And originally
Oh, exactly, 'cause
I
that's
had
not the
her
point.
going a
Yeah.
lot further because I had seen a
Because she's
particular...
Thai, but I always joke about how I had to go all the way to Thailand to meet a Thai girl from Sacramento. Yeah. But yeah, so she's Thai, but she does not, she speaks Hmong.
You just don't even realize it, like that something you're doing could be insulting. But that I feel like even with the hypersensitivity of every culture to be to feel some inclusiveness, it's really easy to try so hard that you actually offend somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's what we wanted to avoid. This whole thing is such a celebration of Thailand and Thai people. We didn't want anybody to misinterpret it.
Yeah, because it really does feel that way. I mean, you really do showcase Thailand in general. I mean, it's actually a co-star practically.
It truly, I always like, it sounds cliched to say, but I was always very convinced that Thailand was the most important character in the movie because it was the inspiration of the whole
second
thing.
most important character.
Yes, Ian is truly the hero of the film.
Truly the hero.
Well, that's an interesting point too. So in the original script, Ian was more comedic and more of a novelty, and the whole fight that he has in the movie was intercut with that scene that Brenda and I have, and it was more like just a comedic background. And then when we got there and we were actually shooting and watching the fight choreography, I was like, God, this movie doesn't make any sense if Ian doesn't win this fight. And so, spoiler alert, we rewrote that scene.
No, you didn't even rewrite it. You just said the morning of it. Oh, by the way, wouldn't it be better if Ian won?
And I was like, this has to go.
Oh wait,
this way.
I just did all this fight coordination like in the
Yeah, but luckily we were able to kind of rework it, and it's so much more satisfying.
But also that day was hilarious.
Well, you're in the fucking ring for the entirety of the day.
Honestly, I was sore and gassed, just like nobody's business.
You had a tremendous amount of stamina, and you were fucking awesome that day. Because all eyes on you.
Considering my lifestyle, I was surprised I was able to make it that fucking far.
Oh my God, there's a couple of hits that you take that are so big. Everybody that watches is like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm still good with my body.
People are convinced that it's all stunt people, and then I shot my scene after your scene, so then I was really inspired to take harder hits. I had always heard and
I wore no headgear either. Ooh, yeah,
you're dumb.
Yeah, I know.
All the way
out.
Back to Raging Bull, I heard Scorsese talk about how the fight choreography, how important it was for the fighters to make contact with each other, because you can clearly see if they're pulling punches or missing.
Well, I only had 2 hours the night before to go over the entire thing and stuff like that. But me and World, that was his name. The guy I was working with, which was he was he was built his name was World.
Yeah.
And we worked with each other how hard can we hit each other kind of thing, because he kept telling me to hit him harder kind of thing. He's like, no, I could take it. But also I kind of wanted that look where I was kind of nah. A little bit of that.
Well, the first two takes, you went all the way through the whole choreography.
We did 3 rounds or something like that.
Which is insane.
Until I did this. I did the throat slash thing and fell to my knees.
Well, because we were like, how far through this is we could easily pick it up. We could start
Well,
and
I
stop.
know. That's obviously what started happening. Because I did that first one. I did the throat cut thing. And Brenda, she goes, I was so enthralled. I was so into it.
Yeah.
That I thought that was a part of the match. I was like, no, I just literally ran out of gas after 2.5 rounds. Because listen, I am not built for this.
No, none of us are. We're the softest of people.
Yeah, we're soft little baby actors.
Yeah. This is the upside of doing your podcast in here as we get the cats.
Yeah, I know. Well, thankfully, Dude is a big talker.
Yeah.
And so we have him in the background certain times, just meowing the whole time.
Speaking of cats, man, how funny. So I didn't even realize when Dan and I were there in 2009 that Koh Phi Phi, which is a 4-mile island in the middle of the Indian Ocean, that it was covered in cats.
It is blanketed in cats.
Yeah, you were the first person to point out to me, no old cats.
There's no old cats there.
There's only young cats, which is sort of telling.
But I've read up about it since then. Even apparently, they're actually well taken care of and stuff like that.
Every cat that we saw was well cared for.
But still, there was I got friendly with a cat who just let herself at home in my little kind of room.
We should clarify for anybody. So there's hundreds of cats all over this island.
No. thousands and thousands of cats.
Well, and each one of them seems to have adopted a particular storefront or a house as their own, and they have a territory. They're fed, they're watered. We went to that. But
also, there was one that had a bad eye, like an infected eye. I was like, I can't let you into my room. Right. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, there's a couple that looked like they were shady.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, no matter how much they're well fed, like there's still parasites and things like that. Like,
it's true.
But I was actually just going over like some of my photos, and I was like, oh, like I saw a bunch of pictures of Elby.
Oh, sweetest cat. Yeah, the hotel that we stayed in on Koh Phi Phi, they sort of forewarned us that cats thought each of these rooms were their own, and chances are you would see some cats like try to come into your room at night, and
I slept with my cat.
You can let them. So did I, man. Every time cats came to my room, we were like, come on in. I wound up getting like a huge bag of feed so I could feed cats all day.
Oh yeah, no, believe me, I like left so much food behind for LB. I was like, I hope you have.
He'll miss you forever.
Miss you forever. Like, just like I hope you have great babies and everything. Brenda was crying too.
Everyone's just gonna think we're sick about cats, but. It's such a truth about that island.
Yeah, and it was so warming, though. It really was. It was an inviting kind of thing. Yeah. I think that one of the cutest things I remember, actually, and Brenda got to see this, was came home from work like super late, like it was like 11, 12, something like that. And I'm opening the door and to my room, and I just go, Helby, and it crossed, like there was a huge yard, like about good like 50, 100 feet, something like that.
That courtyard, you mean?
Yeah. And then she came up from the bushes and just ran right into like the door. It was cute. You know what it was? Is I kept on giving her shrimp tails. Was what it was.
Oh,
yeah, she got shrimp tails.
That'll do it.
Yeah, no, that's how you do it. That's how I won over Panda. I just always carry around a dog treat in my pocket.
I do miss Thailand. I'd love to go back and stay at those.
Well, you were just there for like a little
just for a minute.
Like
we were only in
thing.
Bangkok though, which is a totally different vibe. It's such a metropolitan place. It really feels different than any of those resorts.
One night in Bangkok?
Two nights in Bangkok for the world premiere of Changeland.
We're the best.
Yeah. Who's better? Who's better than us?
Yeah. Who's better than us?
I mean, I don't know. I guess you could debate that, but in this world,
no, there's no debate. And the premiere, it's coming out soon, right?
The movie comes out June 7th, and it's great because we've been able
to. When's the premiere?
When is the premiere? June 3rd. I actually just sent you an email.
No, I know. Believe you me, I know. Because Brendan and I were both debating whether it was the 3rd or the 4th.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I was wrong. Because usually, when Brendan and I debate, I'm usually wrong.
There was going to be the 3rd or the 4th, and it was just about getting the venue.
Gotcha.
But we were able to get the venue and everything. So the movie comes out, and one of the things I thought was really important about it was, yes, we wanted it in a theatrical opportunity, but just seeing the way that people watch movies these days and knowing the way that I watch movies, my goal was to really put this in people's reach,
Yes.
So yes, of course, I want people to see it on a screen, but day and date, simultaneous to coming out in theaters, it's going to be across all cable on demand, Cox, Spectrum, Comcast.
Gotcha.
It's going to be on Dish Network June 7th. And it's also on iTunes.
I was going to ask, so you got iTunes.
All of that.
Yeah, good.
What I thought was most important, and I hope this doesn't sound silly, was I just wanted to make it possible for people to see it. Like, I've been saying that this movie, to me, is like a cinematic vacation. And I love the idea that people can take that from their couch, Well, I like the idea that people can take ownership of the movie and literally have it in their pocket.
Yes, exactly. I mean, and that's the advantages of movie making today.
Yeah.
Is that it's people? It's about accessibility.
Yeah,
more people can see it, and also there's a lot of movies that have been doing that lately.
Yeah,
where it's limited theatrical release, but at the same time it comes out. On streaming at the same time.
It's a relatively small and personal movie, and I like the idea. I mean, I'm hopeful that people will see themselves in it, see a friendship that they've had or relationships that they would like, that people can really relate to what we made.
I mean, I think that's, that's a lot of what good art will do as well. People find themselves in it. I mean,
let's call it good art.
Yeah, good art. But there's certain things where you'll make a painting and it's you're kind of just it's reminding you of like this terrible, evil ex-girlfriend or something like that. And another person will look at it and go like, oh my God, it reminds me of my mother.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
That has been the nicest thing because
They'll see themselves in you or the Brecken's character or whatever. Like, but people find things in there.
Yeah. It's a weird experience. I've never done this before. Like I've made a lot of stuff.
I know Orson Welles over here writing, producing, directing, all that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, I didn't set out to even being a director is not necessarily an aspiration of mine, but I really felt compelled to tell this story, and I knew that it wouldn't happen unless I took as much responsibility as I could. Like no one, me trying to explain this to another director, it just wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
we'd never be able to make it for the price we were able to make it.
It's tricky because it's like an oddly personal story, but not.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the details of it.
Well, like when Dan and I took this trip, Claire and I had just started seeing each other, and so I was really happy. And Dan and I had zero drama between us because we were excellent friends.
And that's what I mean. So that part is like different.
But all of the set pieces all of the circumstances,
all the beats.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, down to us meeting these boat people and the tour guides and even the newlywed couple. Like all of those things which were inspiring to me. That actually happened.
Yeah, exactly.
But none of the drama, none of the relationships. I mean,
you reframed it, but a lot of the pieces were the same.
Well, it's like you set out
to make a movie. It's oddly personal, but not.
Yeah, I mean,
it's based around a breakup when you actually were just dating somebody.
Yeah, but in all reality, the ideas that I talk about, the conclusions that the characters come to, it's all stuff I've experienced or. You set out to make a movie and you say, well, what do I even want to say? Like, what do I want to put out there? And I was determined to put out something that was positive and life affirming and sort of reassuring that your life continues to be your own series of choices and it's never too late to start over. Yeah.
So when you were in Bangkok, did you see Sunshine?
I did.
I know. I heard.
Oh yeah,
Sunshine was the best.
That is one of the coolest stories. So I had 5 weeks of prep during which we did all the location scouting and casting.
Yeah, because you do cast a lot of locals. Yeah,
I did, and so I looked at a lot of people for both the monk and for
the little boy and Klahan.
Yeah, for the kid. And what inevitably happened in almost every circumstance was instead of casting an actor, I wound up casting somebody that was very close to us. So like. One of the producer's kids was perfect for this kid in the movie, and our actual location scout, who I'd spent a couple weeks with on boats looking at locations, had the perfect look for your boat partner, Klahan.
Yeah. Emphasis on partner.
Partner.
Yeah.
Well, that was something that you guys brought to it. I hadn't even thought about that as a concept, and it just sort of evolved on film.
Yeah, yeah. It's subtle. It's subtle.
It is. Yeah. And it doesn't feel like a statement. It's just
no. We love each other, and it might be romantical or it might not. It's just
you also improv this bit where you're like, we bought a boat and we dive and fish and jump around to these other islands, which sort of implies that you guys are
we're like always together,
maritime smugglers of some sort. Like you're out running shit to islands without any actual ship manifests.
I was trying to bring a lot of layers to that thing.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah, lots of layers to me and Klahan. I mean, he was great. He was. Sunshine was so also he runs a monkey reserve too, doesn't he?
His house, he has a bunch of animals, including monkeys on his property.
Because I remember I was trying to mess with this monkey. He was like, "Don't mess with that monkey."
Yeah, that's not what you do.
Yeah, don't.
Because we filmed on an island with thousands of monkeys.
Yeah, he stole all the pineapple. That monkey stole a bag of pineapple from everybody. Yeah, and I was like, I'm going to get it back. And then I was just I just stand off, and I could tell just looking at him. Like Brenda actually has a picture of me having a standoff with a monkey.
Yeah,
and she was like, I was like, yeah, no. I saw his teeth, and I was like, yeah, I'm good.
They're just legit wild animals with a freakish amount of strength
too.
Yeah,
they're total jerks.
Assholes.
Yeah, no, that thing, that's mine now. They were total jerks.
When I asked Sumchai if he'd ever done acting, he was like, oh yeah, I shot machine guns at Leo in the beach.
Like, all right.
I was like, oh yeah. And when you look at it, you could totally fucking recognize him.
Oh,
20 years ago, him wearing that same cap, firing a machine gun at Leo.
I have to see this.
So funny. He is absolutely 100% recognizable in that movie.
Yeah, no, he's so sweet, and he's just so he plays that part because he pretty much has no lines the entire movie.
Well, that was the goal. You need somebody for that character that says no words but has a sort of stoic and impassive reaction.
Yeah.
I thought I could yield a lot of comedy by just pointing the camera at somebody that had a look like that.
Exactly. Like, and all he does is like throw a blanket over you, or just do a nod, or take a shot.
It makes it so sweet when he throws that towel on me. You're like, oh, this stoic tough guy. What a deep heart he's got.
Like a Thai lurch, But also, even at the very end when I'm just laying on his lap or something like that,
that moment always gets a laugh.
Yeah.
when you finally say goodnight, Dan.
Yeah, no, I finally say his name right. That was another one of my gags.
That was, you gave me a lot of great stuff, man. So earlier, you had the that was embarrassing at the table read. I was like, oh, that's killer. I wrote it straight down.
Oh yeah, no, I went through and I wrote just a bunch of notes, and that's what
It's the biggest laugh in the movie every time.
Well, that was embarrassing.
Yeah. I'm excited for people to see you in it, especially the more I realize that people have whatever impression they've cultivated over time. It's always not like it's far off base, but it is such a limited POV that I'm excited for people to see this performance.
Yeah, this will be fun. It'll be fun. And I'm proud of you. You made a movie.
I'm proud of you too, man.
You wrote and directed and
Thanks
produced.
Thanks for taking this fucking risk. Like, Jesus Christ, how many people are like, hey, follow me to the other end of the world?
Hey, did you see me blink? So
no,
there you go.
Not even for a second.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I was mega in.
I was never sure that you'd actually read the script, and I even more so appreciated the blind commitment. Like, if you had not read the script prior to going to Thailand, I was like, well, that just says a lot about our friendship, doesn't it?
I read it the day before the table read in Thailand.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah. And then I was like, I have rewrites for my character.
Thank goodness.
But
Can you
also,
imagine if you
I
had
didn't
been like,
I didn't ask you.
No
I just
way.
did it.
No way. I'm rejecting this entire
shit.
This interview is over.
Yep.
Just like flinging your lav mic across the room.
Well, so
Gary Busey style.
I had all my rewrites, and do you know what I did? I didn't ask you. I just did.
Yeah. Well, I remember at the table read every pitch, and that's kind of I guess that's just all right. Like I hired.
No, I wanted to give you what I knew what you wanted. Or I even knew what you wanted, even if you didn't know you wanted it.
Yeah. Well, I cast people I felt like I could trust to do that, both to give me what I needed, but also like who would elaborate and improve on it.
Because there's that thing kind of at the end when all the kind of the characters are meeting up and Randy's character comes up with all those shots.
You barely hear that line, but you hear the shit out of that line, and it's so funny.
Because it was the sin of a writer.
Yeah.
You assume that every character has known each other this whole time. It's like, no, me and him have never had a scene together.
Never met. Who the fuck is this guy? But okay.
It's just suddenly in the background. I go, who the fuck is this guy?
I was so focused on getting Claire to reference Friday in that moment. Like she gives me that full Chris Tucker. You got knocked the fuck out, and it makes me laugh every time. Mm-hmm. But there's also a really subtle joke in there that is an audio nod to Wet Hot American Summer. So Wet Hot American, I can't even believe I'm revealing this, but I'll give it because it's funny.
Yeah.
Wet Hot American Summer is one of my favorite things.
That's
and
great,
they did this thing, David Hyde Pierce drops a ceramic pot at one point, and it makes a very clear Microsoft Library ceramic pot break sound. And then they use the exact same sound effect for a dozen other things that are clearly not made of the same terracotta ceramic. And so I tracked down that exact sound effect.
Nice. It's like the Wilhelm scream or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a library sound. And so when Randy throws that obviously plastic tray over his shoulder, we buried it, but you hear a clear ceramic pot break sound.
I like that.
And it just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh.
Love it. So, look, we're at about an hour. And also, I have stuff to do, and you have stuff to do.
That's fair.
We have lives.
Did we cover all of the things? I mean, we talked about Endgame.
We talked about Endgame.
Right? We talked about the MCU.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we watched the Spider-Man trailer.
Yeah, Everything kids today love, yeah. We talked about Changeland.
Go see Changeland or watch it in your pocket.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Watch it on a tiny screen.
Yeah, it's entirely accessible for your pocket.
Yes, exactly. And do you want to plug any kind of like other things, like your social media or any of that kind of stuff?
All of my social media is under my own name, so I'll tweet sometimes at Seth Green. I'll Instagram sometimes.
You're verified and everything. The one with the check mark, yeah.
Blue check mark.
Yeah.
I don't really do Facebook, but sometimes there is a page, and sometimes I'll do stuff.
Yeah. Are you doing more rooster chicken? No, I'm just kidding. Robot chicken?
Oh, yeah, we're in our fucking 10th season.
Yeah, no shit.
Right now, which is nuts.
Yeah. So go check it out.
Yeah, we actually have our 200th episode as part of this season.
Oh, fun. When's it out?
The 200th episode won't be out until like early 2020.
Gotcha.
But
you're in pre-production now, or is it out? Or is it
we're deep into it, man. So we've recorded all our records. We're even shooting. We're shooting the first 7 or 8 episodes.
Do you have like a loose premiere
I think around October for the 10th season to premiere.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, but the 200th episode, we're going like balls out.
I was gonna say, like I'm sure that's gonna be a thing. Is it gonna be still 15 minutes, or you get more time?
still just 15 minutes. But
everything
we did some really
the kitchen sink, yeah.
Well, because every time we do a finale, it's usually about the show getting canceled or some kind of renewal or everybody dies or some version of that. And I was like, we got to do something different. We got to it's 200 episodes. When we did our 100, when we did our 150, like we just didn't do any massive well, I guess the 100th episode we had like the most in canon story that we've had. The scientist, like the chicken escapes and the scientist takes his girlfriend hostage and he has to fight his way through the castle and then battles the scientist. We wanted to do something different.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just like, let's go to space.
Yeah, exactly. And when you go to space, it's hard to come back.
It really is.
Yeah.
Look at Spider-Man.
Just like Spider-Man. All right. Well, thanks for coming over. Thanks for making me wake up early today.
I love that 11:30 is early.
Yeah. No, my favorite part was when you were like 11. I was like, 11:30.
You had 2 weeks ago said, what about 11? I was like, oh, that sounds good. And then yesterday you were like, hey, instead, how about 11:30?
Well, I have a routine with the cats and the dog in the morning. It usually takes about it starts at about 10:30 and it takes at least a half an hour.
I think you're mistaking me for someone who judges.
Oh, I know. But at the same time, what a jerk. I'm a person who has like routine or at least I have like calls to do like on certain days of the week. And so like I kind of wanted to see whether or not I have enough time to take a nap between now and my call. Because I'm a napper.
I really appreciate naps.
I know. Yeah. Believe me, my whole body appreciates it. Yeah. No, I'll say
kids got it
this
right.
glass of wine that we've been having. This is going to be nice.
This is perfect. This 11 a.m. wine.
Yes, exactly.
We're like Hoda.
Well, I had your cousin from another mother, Tom Green, on.
Oh, you did?
Yes, like a couple days ago. And
I like that guy.
Yeah. So he drank wine and smoked cigarettes with me the whole time.
Man, I did Tom's podcast a couple years ago, and we just drank whiskey the whole time.
Yeah.
And you get like 2 glasses of whiskey in, and you realize I'm getting drunk on this podcast.
Yeah, no, I try not to get drunk on the podcast anymore. And I kind of stay away from whiskey because it will make me slurry drunk, which doesn't translate well for podcasts. So
the older I get, the more whiskey like affects my stomach too. Oh, hi guys.
I know he's really talkative. All right, we should get off because we're going to start talking about my cats again.
Let's do it.
All right, cool. That's it. I'll do my outro later. Okay. Bye.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too, asshole.
You asshole.
Well, that was enlightening. It was a good time. It's always, Seth and I have both been very busy the last year, so we found an excuse to hang out. So it was nice, just kind of a little one-on-one session. It was fun. So go check out Changeland. He said it's June 7th. So go check it out on all those kind of platforms and all those things. I'm hilarious in it. I'm the best part, I got to tell you. Like I say with all due modesty. So go do that and go check out all of his other stuff. All right, I'm going to do my little plugs. Check me out on the Twitters at Incredible Culk on Twitters, and on Instagram I'm at Culkamania. Don't forget to check out bunnyears.com. We're very hilarious. We're funny. We got lots of articles up and everything like that. And yeah, we're all very proud of that. And yes, leave us a voicemail. We're actually lacking in voicemails, so the chances are we'll play yours if you leave us one. The number is 845-393-4629. That's 845-EZE-HOAX. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for listening. Check you out next week. All right, peace out.
Getting voicemails. 845 EZE hoax. I said it's 845 EZE hoax. It might sound dumb, but it's not a joke. It's 845 EZE hoax.
Hey, I just wanted to say that Saved is the best movie ever made and criminally underrated.
Hey, Mac, I've been sucking dicks and taking pics, and then I've been texting them to this number, 845 EZE hoax, but you haven't even once played one of my dick pics at the end of your episodes. What the hell, man?
Hey, Mac, this is Ben calling from Portland, Oregon. I own a barber shop. If you ever want to come up, get a haircut, I can do that. But we can suck some dick and take pics. Have a good one. Bye.
Find me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch.
You are freaking lumberjack!
Oh my God.